Very interesting report there this morning in the Irish Times. It's about an interview with the Sinn Féin leader, Mary Lou McDonald, and she has said that the Sinn Féin objective of Sinn Féin in government would be to get house prices as low as possible. So to put it in context, she said that the average house price in Dublin should fall to the €300,000 mark. And figures from the Central Statistics Office tell us that the average house price in Dublin is about €430,000 at present. So if you consider a drop from €430,000 to €300,000, that's 130 grand of a drop. The average house price, that would be a 30% drop. So this obviously is going to appeal greatly to people who are not house owners, who are not on the housing ladder, and who are anxious to do so, who don't wish to remain renting houses. However, it's going to send some amount of trepidation, I would have thought, through homeowners who would be concerned about a drop in the value of their property by 30% from, say, an average of 430 grand to an average of 300,000. That is a significant drop in anybody's language. And that is the avowed policy, according to Mary Lou McDonald of Sinn Féin, in relation to house prices if they get into government. There was other matters discussed in the interview with the Irish Times, including things to do with defamation, Sinn Féin's proclivity to issue legal proceedings against journalists and newspapers and so forth. There was talk about the migration situation and the immigration situation. She said that on economic policy, Sinn Féin and government would not be pulling rabbits from hats. But it's hard to see, or it's hard to reconcile a statement that you're not going to pull rabbits from hats with an avowed policy to knock 30% off the price of the average price of a house in Dublin. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. Certainly, if I wasn't a house owner, a property owner, I'd be happy enough with myself and happy enough with that policy of Sinn Féin's and Mary Lou McDonald's. However, if I was a property owner, I would certainly have some concerns about what Sinn Féin will actually do in government. I've no idea and I've no skin in the game one way or the other, but clearly that is a pretty radical policy. I would have thought 30% drop in house prices is a pretty radical policy to have. Anyway, it's in the Irish Times today, but there's a full interview there with Mary Lou McDonald. I think there's some sort of a podcast. The Irish Times have it, Inside Politics in the Irish Times. So you can access that. You probably can access it online there and listen to the audio, listen to the podcast, listen to the full interview. So that's interesting, I thought. And just in relation to your view, I mean, what do you think? Would you be happy with the governing party or the biggest party in the next government, for example, having a policy of bringing house prices, second-hand house prices or house prices in Dublin below or fall to the €300,000 mark? Would that be something that you would be happy with and maybe cause you to vote for Sinn Féin, or perhaps would it cause you to have second thoughts and you may have been considering voting for Sinn Féin before this? But that is the situation. As I say, the CSO tell us that the average house price in Dublin is 430,000, and Mary Lou McDonald has made reference that the house prices should fall to 300,000.